There was another unsettling jump in coronavirus cases in our state. There are now more than 4,000 patients with COVID-19, and the number of deaths is approaching 100. There are more deaths at Pleasant View Nursing Home in Carroll County. That brings the total there up to 14. Let's bring Amy Kawada. She's live in Carroll County with a reaction from a family whose father died at Pleasant View. Amy.
Good morning, Max. Well, his daughter says he originally tested negative here at the nursing home for coronavirus, but then the test results from the hospital came back positive. Now, she says her family is just trying to come to terms with the fact that in just a short period of time, her father's health took a dramatic turn.
With now 14 confirmed deaths and over 100 residents and staff members testing positive, Pleasant View Nursing Home in Mount Airy remains the largest outbreak of COVID-19 in the state. And it was where retired D.C. firefighter and loving grandfather Gary Holmberg called home before he passed away.
It kills me to think that he shouldn't have died like this. This should not have been his way out. You know, he didn't want to die.
His daughter, Tracy Chevelle, says he temporarily moved into the nursing home in late February to recover from surgery. But on March 27th, Holmberg was moved to Carroll County Hospital for a respiratory infection. And by March 28th, he was left gasping for air. Chevelle says she and her brother rushed over at 2 a.m. to say their goodbyes.
Brother and I doing all the protective stuff. I know we were taking a chance, but we couldn't not let him go without him knowing that we were there for him as much as we could.
Gary passed away the following morning at 77 years old, and Chevelle says the hospital confirmed he tested positive for coronavirus. The Carroll County Health Department has called on additional resources brought in to help the staff at Pleasant View.
And Chevelle's brother created a Facebook page hoping to reach out to other families during this time to offer support. And happening later today, the governor will be touring the Baltimore City Convention Center site, which has now been deemed a field hospital site. For now, reporting live in Mount Airy this morning, I'm Amy Kawada for WJZ.
Amy, thank you. There are concerns this could be the worst week yet. Some healthcare workers are revealing what it's like on the front lines. WJZ investigator Mike Helgren reports from Pimlico, where a new testing site will open soon.
The rise in new cases of the coronavirus reported in Maryland was slightly less than yesterday. Still, there were 436 more, bringing the number of confirmed cases to at least 4,045. And the number of deaths rose to at least 91, 24 reported in the past 24 hours. Frontline medical workers are feeling the strain statewide.
I've cried many days. I haven't seen my children in 13 days. They're with my ex-husband, and basically we're concerned for having them around me because I don't know what I'm bringing home every day.
There are now positive coronavirus cases in at least 80 nursing homes across Maryland, leading to Governor Hogan's executive order that requires staff to wear personal protective equipment and mandates faster testing for any residents with symptoms.
We are scared to come to work for not only ourselves and our families, but our patients also.
In the Baltimore area, several Future Care nursing homes have reported positive cases. WJZ spoke to a Future Care employee now in quarantine who asked us not to reveal her identity. She says until last week she was performing therapy at multiple nursing homes and did not have enough personal protective equipment.
We would go in and out of different buildings every week. We even voiced our concerns that we could be carriers, that we could potentially bring COVID from one building to another building. And as a carrier, you wouldn't know that.
Future Care said in a prior statement the safety and well-being of residents and staff is their primary concern.
I was told that I was to keep working with patients up until I test positive. When I didn't like that answer, I went to my doctor and was placed on quarantine.
The Department of Juvenile Services also reported its first case, a staffer at a juvenile detention facility in Salisbury. Now staff and youth must wear masks. At Pimlico, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
As the virus spreads across Maryland, more people need to get tested. Our live team coverage continues. Mike Hsu has details of 2 new testing sites opening in Maryland today. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Max. The 2 new MVA drive-through testing sites are here in Columbia and another in Montgomery County. They join 4 that are already set up and running.
With emissions testing postponed, the buildings and the pre-marked lanes for cars were simple to convert to COVID-19 test sites. But state officials warn people not just to drive up, as everyone needs a special referral.
We don't want to waste these tests. We want to test where it's really important to the individual and to the contact tracing.
The reason a doctor's order and an appointment are needed is because tests are still in such short supply.
I was symptomatic for the last week, so I called my provider and I told them about my symptoms. Emission
inspection sites in Waldorf, Bel Air, and Glen Burnie opened last week. They join another location at the FedEx Field in Landover.
The hours here are from 10 o'clock till 2 today and on Thursdays. Now, they remind us once again that you must have a referral and an appointment to come to any of these sites. I'm Mike Hsu reporting live in Columbia for WJZ.
The U.S. has passed a grim milestone. More than 10,000 Americans have died and nearly 370,000 are sick. Nearly half of those deaths are in New York. The state's governor extended stay-at-home guidelines through April 29th. The maximum fine for violators is now $1,000. The White House is resisting calls for a national stay-at-home order. Some health officials believe it may not be needed.
None of us. I want to make sure people understand that just because they don't have a very strict stay-at-home order, they have in place a lot of things that are totally compatible with what everyone else is doing.
Health officials say other cities being hit hard right now include Detroit as well as Chicago. Police departments are also being hit hard by this pandemic. A case has shut down an entire precinct in the city. Rachel Menitoff has an update from City Police.
On Monday, the Baltimore Police Department announced that the Southwest Police District has reopened and 94 officers have been cleared to return to work following an officer there testing positive for COVID-19. During Monday night's virtual city council meeting, Council President Brandon Scott thanked all of the people on the front lines.
All of these individuals who are literally risking their health, their safety, their lives in order for us to keep moving on with some sense of a normal life in the city of Baltimore.
Over the weekend, more than 100 officers at the Southwestern District were told they had to quarantine after one of their colleagues received a positive test. All patrol cars were cleaned and sanitized before the station reopened Monday. Former Deputy Police Commissioner Jason Johnson says as the number of cases climb, the City Police Department should be prepared to lose up to 20% of its force in what's an already understaffed department.
But I think if you are in a leadership role in any police department in the country, you have to, your contingency plan has to be, what do I do if I have 20% fewer cops tomorrow than I did today?
At last check, 10 members of the Baltimore City Police Department tested positive for COVID-19. There are 3 officers in Baltimore County, 3 in Harford County, and 1 in Anne Arundel County. Governor Hogan's spokesperson Mike Ritchie tweeted that state troopers and Maryland Transportation Authority police officers are helping out in areas of need. Currently, there are 120 Baltimore City police officers in self-quarantine. Reporting from police headquarters, I'm Rachel Menitoff for WJZ.
The Baltimore County government wants to remind everyone to throw masks and those bacterial wipes away properly. Leaving them in shopping carts or on the ground just isn't the right way to do it. So the same goes for gloves and disinfectant wipes. Throw them all into the trash can. The gloves are an environmental hazard, and if thrown on the street, they'll end up clogging the Chesapeake Bay and other waterways. As Baltimore schools remain closed, many are turning to remote learning to help keep students engaged. Yesterday, Baltimore City launched its remote curriculum. Students can access daily math, science, reading, and art lessons through City Schools TV or Charm TV. They're also online through Charm TV's website. Teachers hope distance learning can help kids feel a sense of normalcy again.
I tried to bring our class fish home. I brought my easel and some of my teaching materials. I just wanted to try to make it as comforting for the kids as possible so that they could feel like we were connected this way.
As for students who don't have access to technology, many teachers are delivering learning packets to the kids to make sure they don't fall behind. Right now, there's an urgent need for blood, and the FDA is revising its recommendations for who can donate. For those who with recent tattoos and piercings, you can donate after 3 months. The previous recommendation was 1 year. The same goes for people who recently traveled to countries where there's a malaria outbreak. You could donate 3 months after returning to the U.S. instead of the previous year as recommended. Of course, stay with WJZ as we follow the new developments in the pandemic, both on air and online. We have everything you need to know posted at WJZ.com.